This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can also send me an email to steve@a2zhistorypage.com or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time Beyond the Big Screen.
Right? You think, like, how can you want to go back? It's because the world outside is so horrible. And when she's there, everyone wants to take care of her and make sure she's well fed and make sure she's comfortable. And out here, everyone wants to kill her because she dared fight back, right? The reason these people are such a threat to Joe is because they dared defy him and dared defy this patriarchal system he set up. And so now they're targets, right? And I think that's part of the message we want to take from this, and why she wants to go back is because part of the commentary from Miller and his writing team are that, look, if you fight this system, it will come after you. Because it's important, because it's critical. Like you see that all of Joe's entire society is built on compliance and obedience, right? And this like cultish adoration and belief in him. And if people start to question that, they have to be stamped out. And that's why she's scared. And she should be. So he's on his knees wailing and singing this like almost paean, mourning the loss of essentially his son. And then you have this almost comical moment where someone's like standing on this pole. He's like, "Boss!" And Joe looks up, right? They're going for the Citadel. It's undefended. And so then everyone rallies up and the chase is back on, right? And now we're fighting again, except this time, what's changed? The good guys have new allies, the Many Mothers, the Vuvolini, and the bad guys have more of, it's a bigger group now because they've been able to assemble all of the folks from Gastown and Bullet Farm. One last thing I want to point out about just all the crazy details in this movie. The War Boys are from the Citadel. They're painted white, and they're great drivers, but they essentially like fight. They fight with these like very makeshift weapons. The guys from Gastown, where they refine fuel, they fight with flamethrowers. Why? Because fuel is readily available. And the guys from Bullet Farm fight with guns. Right. And so they nail these details everywhere that, like, of course the guys from Gastown have flamethrowers because that's the thing that's readily available to turn into a weapon is like liquid fuel. And these like details, I mean, we could do a show just about like. Yeah, so the Vuvolini, or the Many Mothers, they had built. Sorry, I was actually just pulling up this quote. It's by Bill Moyers. He says, quote, "Civilization is but a thin veneer stretched across the passions of the human heart. And civilization doesn't just happen, we have to make it happen." And so Joe made one form of a civilization, right? Very hierarchical, hierarchical, patriarchal, and vicious, and the Vuvolini, the Many Mothers, and he kind of like twisted nature to his will. So he found water and he built all these machines to bring the water in to make the plants grow. The Vuvolini, on the other hand, total opposite, right? Matriarchal, sure, but it's only women. It's totally egalitarian. It's very clear, like, nobody's in charge. Now, it's a small band of people, so a very small band, totally egalitarian. And presumably in the Green Place, they were in touch with nature. Unfortunately, as they say, the water went sour, and so they became scavengers, right? So so they also had to become vicious, but not to each other, to everyone else, right? So when we meet the many mothers, after we've escaped far enough, we learn that they set traps for people, right? And they actually, what's so interesting is they set a trap to appeal to human decency, not greed. So the trap is one of the many mothers is naked and like tied to a tower, screaming for help. And Max is like, it's a trap, right? Like, basically, don't do it. Now, he doesn't know that Furiosa knows them and grew up with them, but they've become so vicious that they launch traps to appeal to human nature, and they will kill and take stuff from a good person. And they've been reduced to that. Now, they're still, in a lot of ways, they're heroic, right? But have no doubts, these people are also ruthless, and it's because they have no choice. And so the thin veneer of human civilization was torn away from them as well.